Today I'm going to be showing you how to diagnose bad automotive fuses in your modern vehicles. You're going to see them like this, and you'll see them like this. If you plan on doing any kind of electrical work on your vehicle, it's good to have a voltmeter. You don't have to get a real expensive one. You just want something that'll read DC voltage, and you really want one that'll read ohms. This one has a setting on the ohms where when it you got continuity, it'll buzz. That's really helpful when you're checking fuses, especially when they're in the fuse box. But you don't have to have that. Basically, the way ohms read, if you have an open circuit, these two probes are open, you'll get that 1. And when you close the circuit, you'll read 0.0. You have no restriction on that continuity. Ohms measures the resistance in the electrical circuit, so no resistance is good. If it's a 1, that means you have an open circuit, and any numbers in between is measuring the resistance you have in that circuit. But this is just the basic settings we want to use with our voltmeter with doing this. You see, if you have like a buzzer setting on your voltmeter, when you make continuity, it'll make this buzzing sound. You can do a visual inspection on these fuses. If you look right here in the middle, you'll see that wire that runs in between the two leads. And if that wire is burnt in half or broken in half, then that means that fuse is bad. But sometimes fuses can be bad and that wire still be intact. Sometimes fuses are not working because they got corrosion on these leads right here, or on the female ends where it plugs into the fuse box. If it gets corrosion on them leads, it can cause it not to make continuity between these two posts. Sometimes they get burnt or corroded up in this section of it, and they're bad. I have before had bad fuses and that not be broke through, but more times than not that will be burnt through. So if you got a fuse that's testing bad, even if you see that still there, go ahead and replace it. They're cheap enough. But when a circuit gets overloaded and this fuse blows, 9 times out of 10 that is going to burn through. Here's 2 identical fuses. These are the mini fuses, 15 amp. You can see this one. You can see how that wires in there is connected. The higher the amperage, the thicker that wire be on the inside of it. And you can see that one is connected. That's a brand new fuse, 15 amps. This one is a bad one. You can see right there it's burnt through. You see how the top of that wire just burned off of it. So that's one way you can visually inspect them. Another way you can inspect them is with your voltmeter. You can take the leads, put one on each end of these posts, and test the continuity that way. If you've got a system that's not working on your car and you're checking for blown fuses in the fuse box and you don't know exactly which one it is, when they're plugged in, this will be facing out. If you look on each side, the top part of each post, it has a little metal part that sticks out the top of it, and you can put a lead on each side of that to test it. We're going to pretend these fuses are plugged into a fuse box on the car. Quick way you can check them: get your multimeter leads and put a pin on each side of these top posts on the fuse while it's plugged in, and you should get continuity on your multimeter. see if you can see that a little better. So that one's good. You'll go to the next fuse in line, test it. That one's good. You go to the next one. Then if you find one that doesn't have continuity, then you look at that circuit. Pull the fuse out, look at the fuse, visually inspect it, look for the burnt wire inside, look at the lead, see if there's any corrosion. If the fuse looks alright but the circuit's not working, just go ahead and plug in a new fuse and test it out. If the fuse is good and you try another new fuse and that circuit still don't work, and you still don't get power in it like this, you can take the fuse out of that circuit, test for power, electricity, put your voltmeter on voltage, and with the ignition on or whatever that circuit calls for, if it's just hot during ignition or if it's hot all the time, you'll test for voltage between them leads with the fuse out. If you're not getting electricity to that circuit, then you got to trace back to where the power source is for that circuit and troubleshoot it there. But that's just a quick way that you can go through and check fuses in a fuse box and identify the bad fuse that is in it. I hope this video helped you out on automotive fuses. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.